Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we will try to understand, we will try to have an introduction to counters. In our previous classes, we have covered different types of flip-flops, different types of clock triggering mechanisms. So we have covered all those concepts in our previous class. If you haven't watched those videos, please watch those videos because without having clear understanding of those concepts, you may not be able to understand what's happening in this class, because these concepts are totally dependent upon those videos, and every video in our channel is going to be a part of entire course or a playlist. Our suggestion is to follow the entire course so that you can have better understanding of the concepts. Now we will try to understand what is a counter. So far the flip-flops that we have seen, we haven't seen the applications of those flip-flops. So it is going to store a value in it, and where those flip-flops are used, we haven't seen those applications, and the counter is one of the application of the flip-flop. So what this counters will do is they are going to have a count of numbers. So the number of the count of the binary numbers can be done by using these counters. So how the counters can be done, how the count of those numbers can be done is we are going to use a JK flip-flop. So the characteristic table of the JK flip-flop states that whenever the inputs are 1, and whenever the clock is 1, it is going to produce the complement of the value that is already there at the output. So the complement of the value which is already there at the output Q1. So whenever we are going to produce, whenever a clock is generated, so what kind of clock it is? This is a negative edge clock. Whenever the negative edge clock, so this is a negative edge clock. Whenever a negative edge clock has been generated, this value will become 1. So here, after that, the negative edge clock will appear here, then this one will get changed to 0. So after that here it will become 1. So this is how the JK flip-flop with the inputs of J and K as 1 is going to produce the complement of the value which is already there in the output. Now we will try to see the waveform for the output that is generated by this JK flip-flop. Initially assume that there is a 0, and here the clock has been appeared as a assume that here there is a low edge, it is a negative edge clock. Now we will try to see how the Q1 will behave. So the output at the Q1 will be, so it is going to be, so initially the value is 0, so it is going to be 0, whenever a negative edge clock will get triggered. What happens at the output? What happens at the output is the complement of the previous output will be generated. So what happens at the output is, at this point of time the complement will get generated, and this is going to continue until the next negative edge will get triggered. So now what happens is this will get complemented to 0 again. So this will continue for a clock period. So this is what we call it as a clock period. Okay, when a clock period means the appearance of the triggering of the clock, so the time taken for the clock triggering for the next time, so that period is what we call it as clock period. Okay, so now again here this will get, this one will be like this one will be here, and this one will be at this point. Okay, so this is how the clock will get so the output at the Q1 will be, so how the Q1 will be behaving. So there is a good property in this, within this. So what that property is? It is dividing the clock frequency by 2. See here, so for every 2 clock cycles, for every 2 clocks, which means for this entire clock cycle has been divided into 2. What does that mean is, here we are having how many clock cycles are there? 8 clock cycles are there. see here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So now how many clock cycles those 8 cycles has been fallen down? See here, this is 1 2 3 4. So sorry, this is 1 negative 8, 1 2 3 4. So the frequency of clock has been divided by 2. The frequency of the clock has been divided by 2. So if you want to divide the clock frequency by 2, it can be done by using a JK flip-flop. It is one of the applications that you need to remember. So by using a JK flip-flop, we can reduce the frequency of the clock by 2. So the frequency of the clock has been reduced by 2 here. Okay, so now with this we have seen the way in which the Q1 will behave. The output will get generated at the Q1. Now what we will do is we will connect this output to, we will take another JK flip-flop with the inputs 1 and 1, and the clock here is also edge triggered, negative edge triggered clock. This is Q2. Let's take it as Q2 and Q2 bar. Okay, so now this output will get connected to this clock. Let's check what happens with this. What is the output that is generated at the Q2? So let's take the waveform. So how it is going to be a counter, we will try to understand. Okay, so now this is Q2. See here, where the this is the clock. This is the clock for this JK flip-flop. So if it is a JK2, for this JK2 the clock is going to be Q1. For this JK1 the clock is going to be clock. So this clock. Okay. Now for every at every negative edge we are going to toggle the output. So initially the output is 0. So for every, until we get the clock, until we get the negative edge clock, this output will remain the same. Okay, now this will be 1. So the toggling of the output happens only when negative edge trigger happens. So here the toggle happens. Again, where it happens? Here. So this is a negative edge. Here the output will remain the same, and here it will get toggled to 0. And similarly, next where it happens, here it will happen. So here it is going to toggle again. So it will get toggled from 0 to 1. Similarly, here it will get toggled from 1 to 0. So this is how the Q2 will get generated. If you clearly check this is going to divide this frequency. So this frequency, so the clock frequency, now what happens at this is the output at Q1, and how the waveform of the Q2 is, it is frequency of the clock by 4. Frequency of the clock by 4, which means again this frequency of the clock has been divided by 4. That is going to be the output at the Q2. Okay, so for these are the outputs that we have seen. Now we will check the output set for each and every clock cycle. So let's check the output that is generated at Q1 and Q2. Okay, so let's check the outputs as Q1 and Q2. Let's check the outputs, how the outputs will be for every clock cycle. For every clock period, how the outputs will be. So this is a 0, this is a 0, and this is another second clock cycle. So whenever the clock changes, if you take the outputs at Q1 and Q2, so for the first clock cycle it is 0 0. For the first clock cycle it is 0 0. In the second clock cycle it is 1 and it is 0. See here, it is 1 and Q1 is 1 and Q2 is 0. Okay, next clock cycle, and the next clock cycle means this phase. So here it is 0 and this is 1. Q2 is going to be 1 and this is 0. And in the next clock cycle, this is 1 and this is 1. So it is going to be 1, 1. See what's those numbers are. So for every clock cycle, at each and every clock cycle, the counting of the binary numbers is happening. Initially, the decimal equivalent of this is 0. The decimal equivalent of this is 1. This is 2 and this is 3. See how the counting is happening. And if you continue to see what happens at the output, continue to produce the clock. So what happens at the output is 0, 0. If you have two JK flip-flops interconnected in this way, it is going to produce 2 power n. So the number of JK flip-flops are n. If you have two flip-flops, it is going to produce 2 power 2 counter. 2 power 2 counter means 4-bit counter. So 4 counter. What does that mean is it is going to count 4 numbers 0, 1, 2, 3. Are you able to get the point? So the next count in the next cycle, again this is going to repeat 0, 0. In the next cycle it is going to be 1, 0. In the next cycle it is going to be 0, 1. Here it is 1, 1. So the cycle repeats. With 2 JK flip-flops we can count 4 numbers. So what if the interconnection extends, in the sense if you add another flip-flop to this? So another flip-flop to this, let's check. So you'll get complete idea after this. So another flip-flop has been added and this Q2 will get added to this clock, and here J is 1 and K is 1. K is 1 and J is 1. The output at Q3. So what is the output at Q3? So again the Q3 will get added. Q3 will get added. So let's check all these values. It is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So if Q3 has been added, so what happens? 2 power 3 counter will get generated, which means this counter is able to calculate 8 numbers. Okay, let's check. So the output is going to be so now where the negative edge will get generated, here the negative edge will get generated, and the next negative edge generated will be here. Okay, let's check this. So the input is initially 0, so it is going to be 0. It remains 0 until here. Here the negative edge has been triggered. It is going to be toggled from 0 to 1, and again this is going to remain 1 until here, and here it will get toggled. Let's check the outputs. So here it is. So for this clock cycle, the output that is generated at Q3 is 0, 0, because this is a lower frequency, lower clock cycle, lower level. It is going to be 0, 0, and here it is 1, 1, 1, 1. So let's add Q3 to this. What happens with here? It is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's check this. What is the binary decimal equivalent of this? 4, 5, 6, 7. In the next cycle, how it is going to be? In the next cycle, if the cycle repeats, what happens at the output is these values will get repeated again. So at Q1, Q2, Q3 you are going to get 0, 0, 0. Already we have seen for 2 flip-flops. Okay, this is how the counting mechanism can be obtained. The counters can be created by using flip-flops. Hope you got the clarity on this concept. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon for the latest updates. And if you have any doubts regarding this concept, please post your doubts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.